It reminds me of a story I've told before of a man who got a chance to interact with God. And he said, God, I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to really begin to get to know you better. So I have some questions. And God said, ask away. And the man said, well, I want to ask you this question. He said, what is 1,000,000 years like to you? And God's answer was, it's just like a day. It just comes quickly. And then the guy said, God, what's a nickel like to you? And God said, it's like $5 billion. And the guy said, can I borrow a nickel? And God said, in a minute. God is beyond anything we can imagine. And sometimes while we are asking for the impossible, God's going to do the impossible. But then there's this term I'm going to use. It's very biblical. Wait. Sometimes we're like, really, Lord, I have to wait for this? But then God's doing things in the midst of the waiting. I've told Emma's story before. We've had her share it before. But Emma, one of our most beloved staff members, Emma was actually very, very successful in the financial industry. Now, you might say, Chuck, how do you know that? I got to meet some of her former coworkers, and they all told me she was awesome. She was a game changer. She was not only effective and successful in her job, she was wonderful to be around. They loved her, and they loved her faith in God. But in the midst of so much success, Emma got sick. And she got really sick to the point of being incapacitated. She couldn't work. She was in incredible pain. She was so tired and drained, she could barely function. And at times she would just lay in bed begging God, heal me. God, heal me. The doctors discovered she had Lyme disease, and there's no cure. And so what happened is Emma knew that the only hope she had was the God who would do the impossible. And she prayed and prayed and prayed. And a year went by. Then 2 years went by. And then it would be 3 years of her in agony the whole time wondering, God, why are you doing this?